it was in St. Robert. There was this family. The husband was in the bishopric, and we were talking to them. And when I got in, I saw on the potential investigators list there was this family name there, and I was just like, oh, that seems cool. We have actual potential investigators. But then after about a month or so of being there, this family came to us and they're like, hey, you know that family that we talked to you guys about? Yeah, well, they want to come to church with us. We're like, oh, okay. So they came to church, and during second hour, they come up to us. They're like, hey, we have some questions for you. We want to ask you. So we went in for the whole second hour. We met with them and we talked with them just about really kind of making corrections about things they had heard about the church. So after that, they're just like, okay, like cool. The husband was Catholic. She was raised Baptist. And so they're just like, okay, yeah, we'll meet with you. So we started meeting with them pretty regularly. They became like one of those, I guess like a really big focus of that time. So like we were always trying to go over there to meet with them or to do service. But when we weren't there, their next door neighbors / their fellowship family were, they were always there, again, talking about church, all that stuff. But she had a hard time because of the way she was raised, accepting the gospel, particularly accepting Joseph Smith. And I remember one day we were meeting with them, and I know it's like advised like not to have long lessons, but this lesson was probably like 2 hours long, because the whole thing was like, look, I just have this question. It was just like rapid fire questions. And in the end, it came down to like, look, you're going to have your own confirmation of the Spirit in order to know that this is true, that this is right. And she said that it would take something big for her to finally make the decision to actually join the church. And so we're just like, okay, that's fair. Like, we'll work with you and we'll see if there's a chance that could happen. So then my companion and I, we went out and into the car. Before we left, we said a prayer. And we're just like, Heavenly Father, like, we can't command you, we can't control the circumstances, but if it's your will, let something big happen. And then we left. We were having dinner that night, and we got a call from the fellowship family, and apparently when our investigators got back to their house, there was an email for the husband. He was a Marine, saying that he was going to be deployed to Afghanistan that next week. He was a sniper in the Marines, and I know they took that as like, this seems like a pretty big thing. And so she said that they wanted to be baptized that Saturday, which was like, this was on a Wednesday. And so we're just like, okay, like they've been to church a lot, but like we haven't done interviews, we haven't like, there's just a lot that has to be done. But then we remembered the next day was zone conference, and the mission president was going to be up there, and the mission president was a colonel in the Navy or whatever the equivalent is. And he had come with us to an appointment before to be able to meet with them. So he knew them and everything. We called him, we're like, will you do a baptismal interview for this family? He's like, yeah, I think we could swing that. So he came in and met with them, did the interview, came out, and he's like, they're good to go. Like they're ready. I could tell that, I can tell that they have made a lot of progress and that they are going to be able to do really well, particularly with the support they have around here. It was just so cool to be able to see how there was this experience with like a specific prayer, with a specific family, with something in mind, and then God answered it so quickly in a way that we totally didn't expect he would, but he did. It was just so cool to see that.